Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Athens County voters will vote on 2 county-wide levies on this year's ballot. Good evening, I'm Chelsea Sick.
And I'm Mackenzie Pyatt. Thanks for joining us. The Athens City County Health Department is trying to pass a 10-year replacement levy that would generate $289,000 annually. This is about $41,000 more than it currently generates. The larger sum of money would go towards raising costs in the health department. The other levy being voted on is a renewal and would generate over $500,000 annually for senior citizens programming in the county. The United Seniors of Athens County would receive more than $300,000 of this sum, which would help fund specific programs to get seniors more involved in the community.
It doesn't just fulfill a basic need, and sometimes it's the only thing that keeps a person from being very socially isolated. You know, that ride might be the only time they see anyone in the whole day. We have people that are, you know, at some of our exercise programs that are, you know, approaching 100. So, you know, we try to do a lot with it, and we try to do it to a population that, you know, for the most part is overlooked.
Athens voters will be able to decide on the levies in the upcoming general election. U.S. Education Secretary John King Jr. is coming to Ohio to discuss President Obama's plan to improve education in rural communities. King will talk about opportunities for students, including connecting nearly all American students to high-speed internet service by 2018. King is scheduled to speak next Thursday during the National Rural Education Association Forum at OSU in Columbus.
Conservative Speaker Milo Yiannopoulos will be on Ohio University's campus December 2nd. Yiannopoulos is a tech editor and writer for Breitbart News and is known for his controversial speeches about conservative politics. Ohio University College Republicans are sponsoring his visit. We spoke to campus Republicans President David Parkhill about why, even after the election, it's important for Yiannopoulos to visit campus.
I just know he's a very big conservative and stands up for freedom of speech, tries to put into reality a lot of these issues that a lot of people on the left kind of blow out of proportion. We just want to paint a picture of the real world, what it's like actually once you get out of college. It's not all fun and games and safe spaces.
The event will take place on December 2nd from 6 to 10 p.m. in Nelson Commons and is open to the public. Preparation for the annual Honey for the Heart parade is in the works at Baker Center. Honey for the Heart is the puppet parade that kicks a Halloween block party. The Trisellini Gallery is open to anyone who wants to help construct the large puppets. Parade coordinator Patty Mitchell says this project brings the whole community together.
I think this is a great bridge between the university and the community and our Athens community. We get to hang out, see each other, talk to each other, and have this shared experience.
This year's theme is birds, and open studio hours are from 10 to 4 every day next week.
Athens resident Jose Torres is the first member of the county to earn a congressional medal. The former OU faculty member received the honor for his service in the 65th Infantry during the Korean War. The Congressional Gold Medal is the highest civilian award in the United States.
Oh, wow, we warmed up nicely today coming from that frosty morning, 35 degrees this morning. That was a chilly start. Right now it's about 62 degrees out here in Athens. Winds coming out of the east at 4 miles per hour. Beautiful evening. Get a walk on out there across our region. Lower 60s, upper 50s in Chillicothe, 59 in Chillicothe, 61 down at our southern location of Ironton. Our warmer spot in New Martinsville, 63 degrees. You're heading out there for Friday Night Lights tonight. It's going to be 58 degrees. Falling temps quickly falling. You'll need that jacket, blanket if you have not left already. Calm conditions though. Winds light and variable. Dry night. Great night for some football. You will need a blanket. You'll need to bundle up. You don't want to get cold. And the student section, hopefully they're all bundled up. Don't have the paint on their chest or anything because they might get pneumonia. You never know. So how's that sound, Mackenzie?
All right. Thanks, Matt.
A community college in eastern Kentucky is embracing the advances of telemedicine. a technology that provides clinical health care from a distance. The Hazard Community and Technical College will offer a telemedicine technician assistant program in January 2017. The technology allows patients in the mountain region to get medical appointments without needing transportation. Program Director Sean Neese said the concept is new to the area, and they are accepting 20 students for spring semester. New evaluations of Ohio charter school sponsors found many to be ineffective. This means nearly a third of Ohio charter schools do not follow current educational rules and could have their sponsors retracted by the Department of Education. 39 sponsors were rated ineffective, 21 sponsors received a poor rating, and only 5 were rated effective.
Two poor communities voting different ways. Why people living in the Black neighborhood of Cleveland are voting for Hillary Clinton, while people living in rural Pike County, Ohio, are voting for Donald Trump. Here's CNN's Poppy Harlow.
This neighborhood in Cleveland, Ohio, was one of the strongest for President Obama in 2012. People living here have been struggling economically for a long time, and they still are. So the question is, will they come out in droves for Hillary Clinton the way they did for President Obama?
Hillary.
Hillary is the best candidate.
That's a no-brainer.
There have been decades of economic despair and a dwindling faith that politicians will help.
I think the Democratic platform is saying the same thing we have heard for about the past 50 years.
Over and over.
Over and over.
Jeff Crosby used to be in gangs. That landed him in prison. Now he's working to keep kids from the same life he lived. And that brings us to the second part of this Ohio chapter, 200 miles south. We're in Pike County, Ohio, and this place matters a lot. Not for the number of votes here, but because of what it represents. It used to be solidly blue, but it's been moving more and more red. In 2012, this was the closest county in the country. Mitt Romney won here by a single vote, just one vote. It's 96% white, largely blue collar, and unemployment here is high. These are exactly the voters Donald Trump has been speaking to. So if his message isn't resonating here, he's in trouble. Many here do believe Trump and see him as their best shot at getting ahead. Since 2000, Ohio has lost nearly a third of its manufacturing jobs.
He got a lot of things that is amazing that he was telling us he can do for us.
Angie Shanks runs a successful real estate firm here.
It needs more jobs, more better paying jobs.
You voted for President Obama in 2008.
Yes, I did.
But her faith in the Obama administration has faded.
I think Trump is a businessman, and the country is a business. It needs to be run as a business.
When we met Angie, she was leaning towards Trump. Now, after the Access Hollywood tape surfaced, she's reconsidering. We left Ohio asking this question: why does economic pain from one town to the next push some people left and others right?
All right, thanks, Poppy. We will have more updates on the election coming up after the break, including Trump's response to his latest sexual allegations.
Plus, a former inmate was raped in jail, then sent the bill for his injuries.
I couldn't believe it. That was a joke.
These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
Friday nights are all about high school football, but when the games are over and the helmets come off, it's time for some gridiron glory. I'm your host, Danny Dean, back under center. Don't miss a play this season. Join myself and the rest of our team on Friday nights at 11:30 on WOUB, and catch us again on Saturday mornings at 11:30. We are committed to bringing you the stories of players, coaches, and communities, and of course, we can't forget about some highlights. We all know there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA
GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, this is it. And she said, the tour's just started. I said, no, you don't understand. This is it.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
With just under a month until Election Day, Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump is losing ground on both national and several key battleground state polls. Diane Gallagher has the report from Washington.
Since the start,
and have been leading in the polls almost from the beginning, without fail.
Donald Trump has been in love with the polls.
I love these polls. I like them because I'm in first place.
But lately,
I don't get these polls.
The polls have not loved Donald Trump. A new survey from Fox News shows Clinton with a 7-point lead nationally.
The big Wall Street Journal NBC poll just came out in Ohio. Oh, we're only one up.
And while he is barely ahead in Ohio, polls show Trump is behind in the important Rust Belt states of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, and in the battleground state of North Carolina, where the Republicans spent Friday campaigning.
In 25 days, we're going to win the state of North Carolina, which I love.
The candidates' numbers, especially among women, have suffered since a 2005 hot mic video surfaced with Trump boasting about being able to grope women because he's a star. Now several women have come forward with claims of unwanted sexual contact from Trump in the past. Now Trump has denied these accusations.
The stories are total fiction. They're 100% made up. They never happened.
But as Hillary Clinton's star surrogates hit the campaign trail,
the next president of the United States, Hillary Clinton.
Trump's troubles are the topic.
To dismiss this as everyday locker room talk is an insult to decent men everywhere.
In Washington, I'm Diane Gallagher.
All right, thanks, Diane. And President Obama was in Columbus yesterday and commented on the GOP members who are denouncing Trump.
Why did it take you this long? You said you're the party of family values. What, you weren't appalled earlier when he was saying degrading things about women? When he was judging them based on a score of are they a 2 or a 10? That wasn't enough for you?
President Obama made his 4th campaign stop in support of Hillary Clinton today. He spoke in Cleveland, Ohio, where he took time to praise his wife for her passionate political remarks yesterday. Ms. Obama called the Republican nominee's comments about women shocking, demeaning, and below the basic standards of human decency. President Obama said the First Lady was sticking up for women and talking on behalf of men who know better.
A former Missouri inmate said he was raped in jail, then sent the bill for his injuries. Now he's breaking his silence. The alleged victim, who asked to conceal his identity and be referred to as Matthew, said the attack happened in a dark communal bathroom. Matthew was billed more than $900 for the ambulance ride from the Jackson County Detention Center to Truman Medical Center. He said in the attack he was slammed against a wall and raped, and several teeth were broken. He was sent by an ambulance to Truman Medical Center, where nurses and doctors performed a rape kit. Matthew said he needed more than 10 stitches. He spent a short time in the hospital, then returned to jail to finish his sentence for a marijuana-related probation violation. Later, he got the bill.
I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a joke. I mean, for them to call an ambulance for me, then send me a bill after this happens, I was beside myself. I couldn't imagine this happening to anybody else, period. Ever. I've never felt this way in my life as far as not feeling like a man.
The Jackson County Detention Center says they are investigating. It says inmates get free medical care there, but if they have to leave and go to the hospital, they have to pay for it themselves. They suggested Matthew apply for the victim compensation funds from the state.
And on Wall Street today, most stocks of local interest saw a rise in value. Here's a closer look. Coming up next on Newswatch, 2 baby boys are now recovering after a 2-day surgery. That story's still ahead.
And in my extended forecast, we'll take a look at our next chance for rain and our beautiful weekend dry conditions. All coming up after this.
Professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open. You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
Friday nights are all about high school football, but when the games are over and the helmets come off, it's time for some gridiron glory. I'm your host, Danny Dean, back under center. Don't miss a play this season. Join myself and the rest of our team on Friday nights at 11:30 on WOUB and catch us again on Saturday mornings at 11:30. We are committed to bringing you the stories of players, coaches, and communities, and of course, we can't forget about some highlights. We all know there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.
From the Newswatch Weather Center on the campus of Ohio University, I'm Matt Thigpen. Right now in Athens, 62 degrees. Nice warm up. We started at 35 degrees. Winds coming out of the east at 4 miles per hour. Taking a look at our regional temperatures. Look at this, 60 in Columbus, 59 in Chillicothe, 62 in Ripley, Ironton, 61, Cambridge at 60. Almanac for today. Here's that low temperature, 35 degrees for our low today. Right around average for this time of year. Our normal high is 68, we hit 67, and our normal low, 39. Here's what I want to point out, that sunset is now below 7 o'clock p.m., getting closer to daylight savings times ending for this year. 58 for our football forecast for tonight for the high schoolers. Falling temps, rapidly falling temps, will bottom out about 45 degrees tonight. Calm conditions, dry out there, so won't need that umbrella today. As we take a look at the fall foliage, I wanted to also point this out. I was walking around campus earlier today, seeing different colors changing. They're starting to come down, getting those reds and oranges getting in there. But up in Michigan, upper PA of Michigan and Wisconsin, they're seeing those peak times already happening across their region. And for the precipcast for today, for tomorrow, high pressure dominating our region. This little weak little thing, this little cold front's just sitting there. It'll just get plummeted by this high pressure. Won't give us any chance of precip this weekend. Beautiful skies, calm conditions, fall weather, I think. 78 for tomorrow in Athens. Partly cloudy skies, pleasant. We got to watch out for that patchy AM fog. No, we don't have the kids out there, but if you're taking your kids or dog for a walk, you might need to keep a leash on them. You never know. Tomorrow for OU football, breezy conditions. Partly cloudy skies, winds coming out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. A little breezy for those. You might need a little more hairspray if you're out there tomorrow for the football game. Green out against Eastern Michigan. Hour by hour, it looks like this. 8 a.m., 45 degrees. There's that fog patchy in some areas. Noontime, we'll hit 64 degrees, and by 4 p.m., we'll hit 78 degrees here in Athens. Looking at our tomorrow's highs for our region, you'll see that patchy fog in the morning across all our region. We'll warm up nicely. 80 degrees down in Ironton, 77 in Columbus, 78 in Marietta, 75 over here in New Martinsville. Overnight lows look like this: 50 down in Ironton, 45 in Athens, cooler spot up in Newark at 40 degrees. Tonight in Athens, 45 degrees. You'll see that fog develop, chilly night, extended forecast. Saturday and Sunday, beautiful weekend. 78, 81, chance of rain comes Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That next chance of rain, Mackenzie, there it is.
All right, thanks, Matt. Twin brothers born conjoined at the head may now be able to live separate lives. Jaden and Anais McDonald were successfully separated by doctors at Montefiore Medical Center in the Bronx. The 13-month-old twins were separated after nearly 17 hours of surgery. After 5 more hours of individual surgery, Jaden went into recovery and is doing well. Anais remained in surgery to reconstruct his skull and is facing a bit more struggling. Jaden and Anais are the 59th craniopagus separation surgery in the world since 1952. The man in charge, Dr. James Goodrick, is the pioneer and leading expert in the very rare procedure. More than 20 medical professionals took part in the boys' surgeries over the last 2 days.
Good evening. I'm Tony Heim with WOUB Sports. Thursday night was another crazy night in the sports world, and this weekend promises to be even more fun. After the break, I'll be previewing Week 8. That's right, Week 8 of high school football, as well as a small discussion on a little baseball game in Cleveland tonight. All that and much more when we come back. And make sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Friday nights are all about high school football, but when the games are over and the helmets come off, it's time for some gridiron glory. I'm your host, Danny Dean, back under center. Don't miss a play this season. Join myself and the rest of our team on Friday nights at 11:30 on WOUB, and catch us again on Saturday mornings at 11:30. We are committed to bringing you the stories of players, coaches, and communities, and of course, we can't forget about some highlights. We all know there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm Tony Heim. We are well past the halfway point of the high school football season, and that means it's time to start looking at the postseason. The top 8 teams from each region make the postseason, and Gridiron Glory's coverage area is loaded with potential playoff performers. Division III Athens, Sheridan, and Jackson all find themselves on the outside looking in of their region, while Division VII Waterford, Trimble, and Southern top the rankings for Region 27. Gridiron Glory will be checking out 5 of the 6 teams tonight. Sorry, Trimble. Come back to WOUB at 11:30 for a recap of all the action. And while the high schoolers are locked in Friday night, the Ohio Bobcats football team will be prepping for a MAC showdown with the Eastern Michigan Eagles. The Bobcats are coming off their first victory against Bowling Green in 5 years. The win pushed Ohio to 2-0 in MAC conference play and tied for first in the East Division. Eastern Michigan lost 35-20 to West Division rival Toledo last week, their only conference loss of the season. Game time is set for 2 p.m. tomorrow at Peden Stadium. Thursday night football continues to produce surprising results as the 2-4 San Diego Chargers defeated the Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos last night. Quarterback Trevor Siemian recorded his first loss as an NFL starter to an injury-riddled San Diego team. Both Ohio teams are looking to bounce back after double-digit losses last weekend. The Cincinnati Bengals are in a must-win scenario against the New England Patriots. A loss would put the Bengals at 2-4 and a long shot to make the playoffs. The Cleveland Browns have a great opportunity for their first win of the season when they travel to Nashville for a matchup against the Titans. And while the Browns remain winless, the Cleveland Indians are on the brink of something special. The Tribe open up the American League Championship Series tonight against the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto is in their second straight semifinals after sweeping the Texas Rangers in the divisional round. Cleveland's ace Corey Kluber will take the mound at approximately 8:08 to get the series underway. The Blue Jays are countering with their ace Marco Estrada. Game 2 will be played on Saturday at 4:08. Trevor Bauer has already been announced as the starter for the Tribe. The Los Angeles Dodgers and Chicago Cubs begin their series almost directly after Saturday's ALCS game. The Cubs are entrusting John Lester to help fly the W Saturday night, while LA manager Dave Roberts has put his faith in rookie Kenta Maeda. Chicago has had an October vacation of some sorts. They haven't taken the field since their walk-off win on Tuesday against the Giants. Cubs fans are hoping that rust doesn't play a factor this weekend. Game 2 is scheduled for Sunday night at 8:08. I'm Tony Hine, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Chelsea.
All right, thanks, Tony. Our Athens annual Halloween block party is just 2 weeks away, and locals are preparing their costumes, which never fail to impress. As people start shopping for Halloween costumes, social media is at the forefront of people's priorities when picking a costume. At New York City costume store Abracadabra, they also cater to the numbers of likes someone gets on social media for their costume.
Abracadabra, we're not about selling you costumes, just selling you makeup, selling you hats, selling you masks. We're more like selling you moments and selling you ideas and selling you Facebook likes and Instagram likes and retweets and reposts.
Other pop culture costumes this year include Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, clowns, and superheroes. The clown costume popularity comes amid reports across the U.S. of people having frightening clown encounters and of other clown-related threats on social media. All right, let's take a final look at weather now. Matt?
Well, this forecast doesn't look very scary. 74 degrees, breezy tomorrow, winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies for the OU football game. As we stated earlier, 2 p.m. start at Peden Stadium. Our weekend planner looks like this. Saturday, we look at 78 degrees. Abracadabra, we're at Saturday evening, 58 degrees. Calm conditions, 81 on Sunday. Sunny and warm for this time of the year. Should be down in the lower 70s, upper 60s, above average. We see that warming trend throughout our weekend. See 78 on Saturday, 81 on Sunday, 82 Monday and Tuesday. The next chance of rain comes with that cold front Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, bringing our next chance of rain. Mackenzie and Chelsea?
All right, thanks, Matt. I'm glad to hear it's going to be warming up this weekend. That does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Chelsea Sick.
And I'm Mackenzie Pyatt. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And make sure to tune in to Gridiron Glory tonight at 11:30 here on WOUB. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Friday nights are all about high school football, but when the games are over and the helmets come off, it's time for some gridiron glory. I'm your host, Danny Dean, back under center. Don't miss a play this season. Join myself and the rest of our team on Friday nights at 11:30 on WOUB, and catch us again on Saturday mornings at 11:30. We are committed to bringing you the stories of players, coaches, and communities, and of course, we can't forget about some highlights. We all know there's nothing better than Friday nights and gridiron glory.